Hey everybody, Joe Burnich with Big West Marketing. Got Jeff, the 360 Electrician, back again on my YouTube channel. Jeff, I want to talk to guys about marketing in 2025, specifically for electrical contractors. Other guys in other service industries obviously can use this information, but let's talk about the top 3 things guys can do in 2025. Go ahead.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, 2025, obviously new year, new elections, new administration, new interest rates, new ways people are going to spend money. Some things are working, some things aren't, but I'm telling you, to 2025, I'm so excited. You know, to be honest with you, I'm not a political guy, but we all knew if it was going to continue from the last 4 years, you had to adjust a certain way and prepare. One thing for me, and it's part of advertising marketing, is being able to have the vehicles to be able to get the work done, right? Why advertise and market if you don't think you're going to get the work? Well, you know, if the election didn't go a certain way, we weren't going to order new vans. We weren't going to expand. We weren't going to do a ton of marketing in different ways because we felt like just mind the people we have, because a lot of people weren't spending money and prices were super high. But now that that's all changed, we're super optimistic. Also, us filming this right now, we have the California fires, and you know, one of my brick and mortars is in California. So there's a whole shift, and my team is already on it, how we're going to be at the cutting edge, how we're going to get, you know, we feel bad for the people out there. Don't get me wrong. I have family and friends that literally have lost their houses, but we got to be on the cutting edge. $1.2 billion in infrastructure loss. Somebody's going to have to make that money back, and why not be the electrical contractors that are watching Big West and 360 Electrician?
Nice. And so one thing I wanted to ask you about specifically, because it's a lot of my clients, a lot of potential clients have been talking to me about the grid. So home generators, whole home generators, there's a lot of money in this. I wanted to ask you specifically, because we've been putting this on a lot of guys' websites for the online marketing side. You're an offline marketing guy, and I know that we've been talking a lot about merging online and offline marketing, and that's working awesome. But I wanted to get your take so you can kind of share this. What do people need to know about like promoting like generators? Talk to me about that.
Absolutely. So now in California for a lot of years, generators weren't a big deal, right? Okay. And then rolling blackouts started. People started losing power and losing power for several hours. You know, this fire again is a perfect example. Then I get out here to Montana and it's a pretty big deal. You know, if you're out here and it's negative 15 degrees and the power goes out, you might not have heat, you might not have, you know, whatever. The electric grid in the whole country is maxed in tax. Look what happened to Texas, what, about 2 years ago? Yeah. Like, generators are definitely selling themselves now. If you're not into generators, you need to get into it. But I would argue with you, you got to get the right wordage in place. You got to get the right sales tactics in place. But most of all, you got to get your marketing down. I always like to say on my channel too, don't do it the way your dad and your grandfather did, right? You know, some of you guys out there are just workaholics. You work 40 hours a day, right? And you're like, just go, go, go. And if you don't work, you know, work smarter, not harder. A lot of that has to do with your marketing. Obviously, I hooked up with Joe Burnich at Big West Marketing because he fully understands the electrical service and complete contracting business. Him being in the contracting business in a different area, of course, he's been there. He's been in front of customers. He understands that. And I just don't know anybody else that understands the back end better than you. So you take care of both our websites. Well, what happened here in Montana is once we started getting the generators here, I realized, boom, light bulb. It's so easy to do it in California, in Texas, anywhere in the country, because the grid is getting taxed. We're having a lot more electric push. Everything's getting electrified. The system just can't handle it. So if you really want to be protected as a client, if you have sensitive information, you want to keep the internet up, any form of generator battery backup works. Even the small pull, you know, hand pull generator is still going to give power to a customer. Hey, that's a $1,200 to $2,500 quick install on a transfer switch and some wiring. Customer supplies the generator. Or you get up to a whole home 22 kilowatt generator from Honeywell. I picked mine up from Costco. Maybe I shouldn't say that because it's my little secret weapon. You save $1,000, you get your points if you use your Costco card, and you get 2% cash back. You can't go wrong. You're saving about $1,000, and that runs you retail. I sell them for about $11,000 to $13,000, not including the gas line because I don't do that. So there's money to be made. There's about a $6,000, $7,000 profit there for a day and a half of work. Not a bad idea.
And then I love that. And so from the marketing standpoint, you've got like a marketing program that you promote. And I know that with like the flyer program and all that, you're promoting generators and a lot of other stuff that you offer your top money makers through the flyer program, plus the videos that go with that. And I want to make sure that everybody knows that's available. I'll put a link down below. But talk a little bit about your marketing program, because I want people to understand how that works, how they can get a hold of it. Because I've had people tell me that they bought this program and they made 10x, 20x. They made a lot of money off this. So talk about that, because that's huge.
Yeah, so if anybody that knows my channel knows about my ultimate marketing for electrical contractors. Now, the back end is done by Joe Burnich, and what we mean by back end is I got together with Joe because he's an online marketer, okay? Don't ask me about SEO. Don't ask me about Google rankings. I've been there, done that, and lost big time. I mean, can you imagine? I always say trajectory to the moon. Okay, not going with Big West. I know we're going to talk about my offline marketing, but just listen to me. If you're off by 3 degrees or 2 degrees when you shoot your rocket from the Earth to the moon, how many hundreds of thousands of miles do you think you'd probably be off by the time you get to the moon at that distance?
Thousands.
Hundreds of thousands. Imagine that that's $1 and you're off in your marketing trajectory. You didn't do a certain marketing right now. How much money did you actually lose in 5 years versus how much money did you gain? If you were off by 3-4% because, oh, no, I don't want to do what Joe said, and I don't want to have that page, and Jeff said to do this, and Jeff said to do that, and you don't do it, and you realize 5 years in, like, I don't have that extra house, the vacation home. I don't have the extra car in the RV. That's because I tell everybody, we're all great at the trade, but some of us suck at business, and I suck at marketing. So I need an online expert like him to get that trajectory right. So now the offline marketing I developed because of that. I knew I either had to pay Yelp, pay Google, pay someone to pass out flyers, and I didn't know what the results were going to be. And I wanted to take that in-house. So I tell everybody to be the lead, don't pay for leads as far as your offline marketing goes. That's why I created the ultimate guide to marketing for electrical contractors, because again, electrical contractors, or all tradespeople for that matter, are not great marketers. It actually allows you to do active, passive, and progressive marketing. 3 areas that I believe in. You have to be able to be marketing when you're asleep. You have to be marketing while you're at a job site, when your car's parked in a wholesale house or at Home Depot, or you're having lunch. You gotta mine your own existing clients because they're a gold mine. How much is a referral worth versus somebody that finds you off Yelp? I can tell you right now, 10 to 1 at least. And so the ultimate guide to marketing is basically a bonus. It's a 10x, 20x, 30x to your online marketing. Because when people find you online, which would be your Google search, right? And then you get to go see that client. Now you can make that client into at least 3. 3 becomes 9, 9 becomes 27. Don't ask me to do the math after that because I'm rolling in too much dough.
Yeah, and when you consider the lifetime value of a customer, once you get them from online or from using some of your techniques, tactics, because some of this course comes with videos. It's not just about like the assets that come with the course, right, but it's the videos and the strategy behind it. I mean, you've been in the trade doing these tactics for how long? 15
years I've been doing the ultimate guide for myself. 2 years ago, I put it out to everybody. We've sold thousands and thousands.
Yeah, I love it. And everybody I talk to loves it. So, and if you've been using his course, put comments down below this video too. I want everybody to understand how powerful this stuff actually is. And then you also have the paperwork course. I mean, I want to promote that too.
Oh yeah, so paperwork's a whole other ballgame. So you have the marketing, you have all these clients, they're coming in, you're doing great, but you're a contractor without a contract. And people laugh because how many of you guys are watching this that you're in a service business at all and you're scribbling on QuickBooks with no terms and conditions? You're an electrical contractor and you say, Joe, we're going to go ahead and we're going to put 2 sconces on that wall. And then you get into it because it was flex conduit and you knew you could pull the wire, and then you realize there's some buried junction boxes. And you signed the contract for $1,200 to put 2 sconces. You're super stoked as an electrician. You're like, I'm making money. I'm going to take my wife or my significant other. We're going to do it. And then you come in and you realize, oh man, I got 2 buried junction boxes here, 1 foot away from where the sconces are supposed to be. And then I got to go back to Joe, who's on a super timeline, big budget, working for a client, let's just say. And I say, hey, Joe, sorry. It's not going to be that much. I have to unbury these boxes, and then I have to move them, and then it needs patching and painting. And you look at me and go, that's your problem, because on the contract it said you're adding 2 sconces on a wall for $1,200. Well, my paperwork helps you with that because on it says, no, Joe, it's not my fault, because it says, in the event of crushed or unpullable conduit, additional will apply. In the event of buried junction boxes, additional will apply. No patching or painting included unless otherwise stated. Because what if it's some Venetian plaster from Italy because it's an expensive house and you got to put holes in it? How would you ever repair it? You can't. So at least it's a way for you can say thank you, no thank you. You can walk out, or you can get more money, and it's going to cover your rear end. That's just one example of it. You know, a big one is service call. How many times have we scheduled a service call and they say, yeah, I'll be there. Your guy goes and he knocks on the door and nobody's there. Or it's a tenant, right? The tenant's going to be there. Just ask for Jeff. He's the tenant. You knock and no tenant goes. Well, in my contract, it says like you have to make sure that access is available. There's no refund on the service call fee, or we will charge you a second service call fee to come. Look, it doesn't mean I have to charge it. Maybe it's a great client, but at least it's there so that you have something to fight back. I can go on and on and on. This is 2 full pages, 8.5 by 14 that I offer on my website, www.the360electrician.com. Just click on courses.
Yeah, I'll put the link down below and make sure you guys have access to all this stuff. But there's nothing else in the industry like that, as far as I know. And you don't have to compile all this paperwork yourself. It's all there. You customize it to your business, put your logo, put your information on it. It's ready to go. It's going to save you hours and hours and you know, like I said, protect you.
Absolutely. Now, I do recommend it's a sample only. You got to go to your state license board, go to your attorney. You know, if you want to take it and run with it, sure, it's all editable, but that's your problem. Don't come back to me and say, oh, Jeff, I needed to do something. It is literally the best starting point. I mean, to go to an attorney to even start to where you're getting, it'll be thousands of dollars to get to where. And remember, I've done it. So every time something happened to me in my career, not my business, but in my career, I added it on there, right? Mm-hmm. New rules, regulations. Which all leads back into the coaching, because if you don't, you know, those are the 2 biggest questions I usually get in coaching. So I wanted to have a course, which I have a couple more coming out, Ultimate Guide to Hiring, 10Xing your client base, that kind of stuff. I complement it with people coming in and doing some coaching.
I want to talk about the coaching just for a second too, because the 1-hour coaching sessions that like the one-on-ones that you offer, which you can go sign up for on the website as well. The guys that have told me that they've done that, said the information, because it's customized to wherever you're at in the business, but especially like the new guys, the guys that are brand new, that are breaking off from the guys they're working for and they're starting fresh. Those are the guys that are telling me that this information that you're giving is absolutely gold. So because they come to me and they're like, Joe, where do I start? I need a website. I want a little bit of SEO, whatever it is. But I'm like, you know what? You need more than that, or in addition to that, especially if you're on a budget, is a 1-hour session with Jeff, because I can't give you information on the business itself. Jeff is the guy. You know, 15 years experience is going to give you way more than a website. And I'm a website guy. So, so if you guys really want that foundational experience advice that is custom to you, then I highly recommend a 1-hour session with Jeff. Like I said, it's on the website, link down below.
Yeah. Our 1-hour sessions are amazing. I have a questionnaire you fill out. Once you go to the website, you fill out my questionnaire. I review it. I say, yep, this is someone I can coach. You know, they've taken the time. They've given me the information. My number one question is, how do I price it? Am I pricing it right? Same thing. We're shooting to the moon. If we're off by 5%, not pricing it correctly. Hopefully you're pricing over, but there's some problems with that as well too. The next question I ask is, how many out of 10 are you landing? Well, 3 or 4. Maybe your price is too high. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's something else. I always say, maybe you got Satan written on your head and tattoo. Maybe that's the reason you're not selling. But a lot of times, maybe you're overpricing it to your area. We talk about that. So my number one question is customizing to the individual. Remember, if I was in your neighborhood and we had shops right next to each other, you're working out of your home in your garage, and I have a big warehouse 360 next door. You don't charge the same as I do. My price has nothing to do with you. You don't care what they charge, but you have to charge what you need to charge to become a 360 electrician later on. So that's my number one question, is pricing. I'd love to put it in a course, and I probably could, but it's just so personal. There's so many one by one. It's 5 line items. We cover it it takes 1 hour. So my average is 2 to 4 sessions people do coaching. They get so much information. I usually tell them, okay, Jeff, I want to book another one. No. You take that information, you 10X it. You make $3,999 off what I just told you, then come back and spend the money. I don't want people to come back because there's so much information that they truly need to implement. And so it's usually about 6 months later, they're coming back, they got their pricing dialed in on what we coach, whatever else we coach, they did the paperwork, they did the marketing, now they want to hire, et cetera, and we do a lot of one-on-one coaching. I love it. It's part of what I do here at the channel.
I love it too, Jeff. Yep. Okay, now I know you are all over social media. You guys are watching this on YouTube. Jeff, I want people to get onto your YouTube channel. If they're not already, most people probably are, but if they're not, get on Jeff's YouTube channel, The 360 Electrician, search it up, subscribe. Of course, I'm going to put the links down below, but what other social media can they find you on?
So I'm pretty much at The 360 Electrician on LinkedIn, on Instagram, on YouTube, on TikTok. I'm going to change it to that, but for now I'm T for the 360E for electrician. So T360E but on X, I'm T as in Tom, or the 360E as in electric. So T360E on X. I made it a mission to answer any questions that come through that are a deeper question, more one-on-one question, and just give you 1 to 2 sentence replies on X. So we're trying to grow our X channel. So if you go to X and you really want one-on-one, more intimate, because YouTube and Instagram are flooded right now. I might not even get to your question, or I might not see it. But on X, it'll take maybe by the end of the day, every day I'm going on X and I'm answering it. And of course, we do TikTok as well. It's at the360electrician.com, as long as it's legal to be on TikTok.
Cool. All right, everybody. I think that's it. Jeff, anything else you want to talk about?
Except one last thing I almost forgot. We're kicking back on the podcast for the 360 Electrician. I just got to interview 2 giants in our trade. I just got back from Phoenix, where I spent 2 full days with Mike Holt, MikeHolt.com. If you guys don't know Mike Holt, I don't even know if you're an electrician, to be honest with you. That's a tough one. Got to spend 2 days. He is on the podcast. And Sean Sampson from Sean Sampson Training, one of the gurus out there that are going to teach you how to take $1 million business and make it a $10 million business, especially so that you can have a great exit plan. You kind of know when you're my age and you want to get out of the business with maintenance contracts. He's like the guru for that. That's just 2 of the people I've already had on the podcast. I'm looking for a great 2025 on the podcast series.
All right, everybody. Once again, Joe Burnich, BigWestMarketing.com. And this is Jeff, the 360 Electrician. See you in the next video.
See you guys.